You see me? Hey, Midnight.
Hey, Miss Iris. Hey, everyone out there. Iris, I want to thank you so much for engaging us yet again. I feel like we're pulling you out of your lab way too much, but you got a lot going on, and we just have to do a little check-in every now and then so you can keep the people up to date.
I know.
So thank you again for your time.
But thank you, because this is an exciting time because we've been wrapping up the Lassiters, and now we're going to do it with the wedding. So this is a little exciting. So I'm excited.
Well, I do want to say thank you so much because I wasn't ready, just like all the other series, ready to let the Lassiters go. But you gave us all a little bit of a bonus, and we appreciate you for that.
You are welcome. You are welcome. And I know this is a thing for people. So I do understand. I understand this is the Lassiters has been a part of our lives since the beginning almost. Like since book 3. They've been a part of our lives. And now we are it's like, oh no, they're leaving us, but they're not really leaving us. They're just, moving on. They're growing up.
Well, you are definitely giving us a treat, and I don't think the Lassiters will be moving away from our hearts and minds. Wait, it's going to be a long time before we actually get rid of them, if ever.
I hope not. I hope not, because they're such a lovable family and everything. So I hope that the Lassiters will always be a part of my reader's heart, if nothing else.
Well, I, for one, will tell you they will be. So you just recently, so we're coming off of a Lucathon.
Yes.
Yeah, and just no sooner than we caught our breath, you graced us with a cover reveal. Just a few, like last week, you blessed us with a cover reveal. And that cover was for an international affair.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about an international affair and what are the readers in store for with this one?
Well, with the international affair, is really a continuation of Luke and Sasha. Luke and Sasha was, of course, the hero and heroine in the book of Luke, Earthquake. And I didn't think people would have enough of them because I didn't. So I decided to go ahead and do the weddings, because we have 4 Lassiter siblings that are still unwed. And so I decided that we're going to go ahead and I'm going to give my readers something a little bit extra and give them 4 weddings. And we started with Luke and Sasha.
Okay.
So I'm just excited about that because their story was so intense. And now we're going to get to see the other side. We're going to get to see the friendlier for some.
Well, I think that might be a matter of opinion, but we'll let the readers decide for themselves about that friendlier side.
Well, let's put it this way: I did not kill anyone in international affair.
Okay.
So that's
so let's talk about this title though, because I'm giddy about the title.
Okay.
So to me, this just doesn't mean the wedding is a destination wedding, like is what their choice was. But the international affair, well, the readers could take that and spin that any kind of way.
They could, and it's kind of meant to be like that. It's let the reader's imagination go with them, because with me, you never know.
Exactly.
That could be World War 3 or 4 or 5, whatever. It could be something that is explosive, because I do have a knack for blowing up things and starting a few situations abroad in my stories. So it could have been something like that. But I want the reader's imagination to wonder where it's gonna go.
Yeah, and I think the readers, including myself, our minds and imagination has already taken off. Okay, because as a reader, we want what we want, and we already given you ideas of what we think should happen with certain people. But thank you guys for joining us. I know. If you're just tuning in, we are talking with Iris Bolling about her latest cover reveal. And we're going to just doing a little spot check in there so we know what to expect or what is coming next for us in the Lassiter series. We know she just completed the Gins and Gins series, and now she's given us a little bit of a treat with a little bit more Lassiters. And if I could just take a minute, I want to just kind of read to you guys the synopsis of An International Affair. Okay. So Luke Lassiter is determined to give his fiancée, Sasha Coles, the wedding of her dreams. Now that Luke has won over Sasha's heart, he wants to protect her peace of mind. The imp, known as Stephanie Coles, is doing all she can to disrupt her daughter, Sasha's life. Her goal is simple: money, money, and more money. If Sasha's happiness is destroyed in the process, well, that's just a plus. Between planning a destination wedding and trying to protect her newfound family from her mother, Sasha is at her wit's end. Unbeknownst to her, plans have been put in place by her family and Luke's to ensure that the wedding goes off without a fight. The only way to get Stephanie between them to have their happily ever after may be to throw her overboard. However, that could lead to an international affair. So,
yes,
is with this synopsis and that title, is there any significance to that?
There very well could be.
All
I
right.
don't want to give away too much. There very well could be, because with the Lassiters, the president is going to be on board, the first lady is going to be on board, the secretary of defense is going to be on board. I mean, all of because it's Luke and because it's the Lassiter family, you are going to have some dignitaries on this cruise. Right. And while they're on this cruise, anything that happens, if it goes outside of that yacht, it could create some problems for a few people, because they are in international waters. Okay, they're not in the United States, so it could create an issue for the president if something were to happen, like a body show up in the waters that came from that ship. That could cause a problem. So it is conceivable where they're located that something could happen. And let's remember, Joshua and Adam is also on this cruise. Mm. So is Monique. Mm. Also on this cruise. So you never know. And they're fired. Of course, is also on this cruise. So you just never know what might happen.
And let's not forget the daddy of the bride.
Al Day is on this cruise. Genesis is on this cruise. Tucker is on this cruise. James Brooks is on this cruise. So it is a number of characters from both the Heart series, the Lassiter people, and the Days are all on this cruise. So when you say, is it possible that there will be an international incident? The possibilities are numerous for this to happen. So the idea is for them to try to have this beautiful wedding. That might be two, but we're not gonna tell anybody that. But anyway, to have this beautiful wedding, right, aboard this cruise ship on the beautiful Mediterranean Sea, where Sasha and Luke can say their vows the way that they want to say their vows. However, there's somebody else on this cruise too.
Okay.
Sasha's mother, Stephanie, is on this cruise. And if you read the book of Luke, Sasha's mother, Stephanie, is a challenge. See how nicely I put that? She's a challenge. So you never know what may take place.
So let me ask you this. So they are, and I don't think it's giving too much away, but the setting, let's just say the setting, and you just say what you feel comfortable with saying.
Okay.
So the setting of this destination wedding, you chose one place, but you mentioned two in the book. Is there any reason why you chose one over the other?
No, only because I saw this picture of the Mediterranean Sea, and it was just something about it that spoke to me. Especially with Sasha and her background of different languages and things of that nature. It was something about that picture that spoke to me. And I said, that's where Sasha and Luke is going to get married at.
Okay. Okay.
So that is it. And one day I hope to see that scene, myself, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
Now, so when you concluded with the Heart series, even though that was a powerful series too, when it ended, it sort of ended. But with this one, you're kind of giving us a little bit of an extension. So what inspired these? In particular, this one. What inspired this story?
Well, with this one, like I said, when I finished writing it, I said, you know what? They did have their happy ending, but now they need to have their happy ever after.
Okay.
And so that's what I said. You know what? LT and Fire has to have a happy ever after. Jade and Blake, Leah and Matthew, they have to have their happy ever afters too. So I said, you know what? We're gonna do a whole series on just with weddings. And that's what we did.
All right, a little bit of tea, y'all. Little bit of tea.
Little nuggets dropping down, little nuggets. But for this particular one, it seemed like a natural flow. It just seemed like a natural flow to go and tell the other half of Sasha and Luke's story.
So with this story, and you know what, toward the end, and I'll say mostly in Luke's book, we noticed that these Lassiters, we already know that these Lassiters is some loving people, mentally and physically.
Yes.
So there was a lot of talk about intimacy in Luke's book, Earthquake.
With the Luke.
Yes, there was a lot of Lucathons, but then there was some other things going on too. There was some Sally and Joathons.
Yes.
Some, with some Lassiter-a-thons.
That's how they got all those babies,
Right.
That's how they got all those babies.
So with this one here, what do you think about your heat level, and what was your intention with the heat levels?
I wanted this particular story, because it was so much heat in Luke and Sasha. I did not want people to forget that there was a sensual side here too. There was true love between these two, as well. Even though you got some heat in here, but I wanted it to be more sensuous. I wanted them to feel the love that Luke had for Sasha. And I wanted them to also see how the two came together to deal with the issues that they had to deal with.
Yeah.
To get to that happy ever after. And I wanted people to see the support that was in there as well. And I'm trying to be nicer with my love scenes.
Why?
Because I'm told that some of my love scenes get a little descriptive. So I'm trying to be,
Okay, well, just don't forget about those. Don't forget about those ones that look forward to that.
I know. No, they are in there. They are in there. However, as a matter of fact, this story starts with a love scene. The story starts with a love scene on here. But I needed people to really get to know Sasha and Luke. They saw the adventurous side. They saw them dealing with a serious, very serious issue in the book of Luke, Earthquake. On this side, though, I wanted people, the readers, to see how Luke and Sasha deal with the everyday things that a married couple is going to have to deal with, such as mother-in-laws.
Mhm. Well, you know, just to piggyback off of that, we all know that the Lassiters family, like me for one, I love a great family dynamic, right?
Yeah.
And I think one of the things I think that you have done with the Lassiter series is you have shown, you know, the ups and downs of a family, and you have shown the bond of a family, a strong family bond.
Yes.
But you did something else in this book here. So tell us a little bit about the family connection in this book and what was it that you were trying to convey to us? Now, we already knew the Lassiters, but you brought something else
But
in
you did
here.
not know the day. I mean, you knew the days because the days came from the Heart series. So you knew the days. What you did not know was, how was Sasha faring finding out that she has this whole new family to adjust to? You know, how was she dealing with the fact that when she found out she had this whole new family to adjust to, when she found out who they were, and how was she supposed to, I mean, imagine you going somewhere and someone saying to you, MidnightAce, this is your uncle, President J.D. Harrison. I mean, what would you do? What you mean, uncle? Wait a minute. I don't know. Uncle? And he's the president of the freaking United States, the most powerful man in the world. You know, think about that. And then think about, and she also had to learn her father and her sister, who, you know, as you know, is Monique is kind of becoming larger than life. And that's her baby sister on top of that. So she's trying to, with the day, she is trying to fit in. She's trying to find out how to fit in with them. And this story helps the readers understand all that Sasha went through when she discovered her whole new family and how things are going. Because sometimes when you read a story and you like what happened and everything, and it ends great and everything, but it's like every now and then you're gonna wonder, I wonder how so and so and so is making out with that situation, because it was an odd situation.
Yeah.
Well, this story expands on Sasha and how she's coping and dealing with her new family and finding out the way that her families got together. That's another thing that I love about this story. It kind of takes you, anyone who are Heart series people, you get to reminisce.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You get to reminisce a little bit when they're telling their stories about how they got together. And this is another thing I'd like to, different point of views. You know, the one thing that I did in Luke's book was I told stories, some of that had already happened, but I told it from Luke's point of view. Well, in this story, you kind of get to see JD and Tracy's point of view of how they got together, and Turk's point of view on how him and JD became to be. You got to see it from different point of views.
Yeah, and I think well, the readers will see in here. There's a really favorite part in the book when, and not to give anything away, but like you said, you're getting to reminisce with people, but you're seeing some points of views from other people. So you're seeing some point of views from Luke and Sasha. You're seeing a point of view from Jade and Blake. You're seeing a point of view from LT and Fire. And then also
Matt and Leah.
Yeah, Matt and Leah. And so you've kind of given a preview of what the struggles are going to be like when these couples get together.
Because they sit down and they talk about it. They talk about the similarities of what they're dealing with, because in part of the synopsis, one of the things that we talk about is what happens when dysfunctional families run into the Lassiters, because the Lassiters have this love genetic that's instilled in all of them. Well, that's not instilled in Sasha, and that's not instilled in LT, and it's not instilled in Leah, and it's not instilled in Blake, you know. And so how are these two different dynamics going to come together and work, you know, to a successful marriage? So
yeah, and we can attest that Lassiters have that love thing on lock.
They do.
Yeah. So Now, and I'm jumping a little bit, but for those who are just joining us for the first time,
Hey,
or
everybody who's out there.
or who has just kind of got, used to you and started picking up your books at the tail end of this series,
Right.
what would you say? Obviously, as a reader, I would say you must read the entire series because there is breadcrumbs that this author likes to leave around, and you don't get your full meal until you have completed the whole series. But if you just wanted a little bit of an appetizer, what would you say a reader just starting out? They, we made this big push for Luke and in Earthquake. What would you say would be some of the books that they could read just to kind of give them a taste before they go all the way back to the beginning?
Wow. This is funny you asked this because I'm writing we never stop writing. So let's put that out there first. We never stop writing. So I'm writing the Taylor Brooks, who is Vernon Brooks' daughter in Brooks Family Values. And if you ask me which story to start out from on that particular one, I'm going to tell you Propensity for Love. But that is not where you should start, because you should start where, at the beginning with just Synergy, which is also a dynamic story. But it's kind of hard to tell you where to start. So I would say start with the first book in every series that I have. And I have about 6-7 series out there. So start with Once You Touch the Heart. That's going to introduce you to really the Heart series folks and the Lassiter folks. So start with Once You Touch the Heart, and then that's the first book in the Heart series. Then go to Night of Seduction, because Night of Seduction introduces you to some characters as well. Then go to Synergy, which is the first book of Brooks Family Values. Then go to Invested, which is the first book in.
I know.
Nothing series. I mean, the thing about an Iris Bolling book, and yeah, I'm talking about myself like I'm in third person, but the thing about an Iris Bolling book, you can pick up one, and it doesn't matter which one, but that one story is going to force you, and I didn't mean to do that. It's just the way the stories are told, to want to know more. And it doesn't matter where you start. You can start anywhere. I have some people that tell me I started in the middle of the Gems and Gents, and I had to stop right then and there and go back and get all of them so that I can have them ready to go.
As a reader, that's the way I would suggest it. But, I know sometimes people, readers might get a little bit anxious because they're so, behind the 8 ball. But the best way to do it is just from the beginning to the end.
Start from the beginning, which is Once You Touch the Heart. And it also depends on what you like. Because once you touch the heart, that series has a political backdrop all the way through this series, but that may not be your thing. And maybe you like entertainment and things of that nature. Well, then start with A Night of Seduction, because that's entertainment. Well, maybe you like corporate. Okay, start with Invested, because maybe you like dancing and movie stars and sports. One Spark of Magic, so One Spark of Magic. So it's different ways that you can get into one of my stories or get into my novels, because it's 6 different series out there right now. You can pick one that fits you and go for it. Of course, if you want billionaires, go with the Brooks, go with Synergy. But the Brooks give you a little taste of everything.
Yeah. Well, I think you wove this world very well, because I can tell you, and let me just tell you about her. What she says is correct, but I can just guarantee you that all roads is going to lead to all series. So just be forewarned, but you will have the greatest adventure ever. You have the greatest adventure ever. So, International Affair.
Yes.
What number is this for you now, Iris?
Number 38 that's been published. I am actually writing book number 40 now,
Oh,
because there's another one that's already written and it's with the editors. And, like I said, we don't stop writing. We just keep writing. So I'm still writing. So by the time we do another interview, I don't know what number we're going to be at.
and I plan to have you back just on all of them, because this is exciting. Again, like I said in the beginning, this is a very exciting time. Of course for you, but it's for us too. I mean, because if you have been with the Lassiter series for such a long time, you're invested in these characters, and some of them you have adopted as your own. So you're gonna want more and more and more.
That's so true.
Yeah, so, and you're giving it to us. So, yeah, keep writing. Again, I'm so sorry I pulled you out of your cave to do this, but I just wanted to touch base with you, because I think with this series, or this little mini series that you're giving us, it has a little bit of a different feel to it, because of course love is in the air, right?
Yeah.
And then
And I have to tell you this. I want to just add this little tidbit in there for you guys. Midnight said something earlier about the Heart series coming to an end. Well, just like with the Lassiters, we're doing a spinoff with the Heart series too. So that didn't really come to an end, because people they don't end, they don't disappear, they just grow, and their lives continue, but they continue in a different capacity. Because like in the Heart series, where we met Tracy and JD when they was falling in love, now we're seeing Tracy and JD as parents.
yes,
And we're seeing that their children have now grown, and we're seeing their children begin to form their lives. So we are going to have a continuation of that as well. Just like with the Gems and Gents, even though like you're seeing them all get married and get their happy ever after. That's not the end of it either, because they have another series that is coming off of the Lassiters, which is called The Administration. So you're still going to see the characters. You're just going to see them in different roles now. Fire is no longer the little girl, the baby girl that has the mouthy baby girl. You're not going to see what she's going to be doing, in life. And you have Matthew and Luke who were always behind the scenes. They were always there. You saw them at different functions and things like that, but you never knew what they were, what they were really about. Well, now you're going to learn a lot more, even more than you did in his book, but you're going to learn a lot more about Luke and what Luke is all about and what he's capable of. So you'll still see him.
Well, like you said, you kind of reminisced. We get a chance to see some of our old characters that we started with, and then some of the ones that we picked up along the way. So
Right.
what would you say for your readers? And so we've had a lot of talks, so you kind of know how they all feel, because they've been very vocal throughout this journey, right?
I'll say.
So what would you say? What would you say the readers that what characters do you think they would identify the most? And that might be a difficult story.
Gosh. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people identify with the Lassiters because they are everyday folks. Some of them do larger than life jobs, but they are everyday folks. They cook, they clean, they go to the bathroom, they have family chats. They do everyday things. So a lot of people really relate to the Lassiters, and even some of the people that have married into the Lassiter family, such as Sasha. A lot of people related to Sasha because they had a similar upbringing, and Sasha really touched them. Her story really touched them, So I think that the Lassiters, and then even though the Brooks are billionaires, they are so freaking, just down to earth. They just straight up people. They fight. The brothers fight. James tried to throw Vernon over the railing. I mean, they fight. They have family dinners together. I mean, they're everyday people, and that's one of the things that my readers have said to me. they have said that when they read one of the stories, they can relate to these characters because my characters, regardless of what they do in life, even JD and Tracy, they're the president and first lady of the United States, but they still, they have family issues, just like that look Tracy gave JD when he said, when she said she was going to the hospital to be with Ashley, and JD said, well, I have a meeting with such, and she gave him that look. Okay, what you got?
We see a little bit of that in her. We see how they've all evolved.
They have evolved.
Yeah. But now with the international affair, would you say the readers would more fall in love, or will they be gunning after somebody's throat? Would they read?
Well, I think they're gonna be doing a little bit of both. They are gonna fall in love because you see a different side of Luke and Sasha. You see a more relaxed side, and you see a side where they're just dealing with them. They're not dealing with all of the other stuff that they had to deal with in Luke's book, and they're just dealing with them. So you're gonna fall in love with them as a couple. And then you're gonna see some of the other things that's happening with the merging of the families. And you're gonna see some, that's interesting. That's gonna be happening in this particular story. So I think with international affair, I got to stay on my nice side, a little bit. I had to throw some stuff in there because that's just life with my families. So I had to throw some dangerous stuff in there. However, for the most part, you're seeing these two families come together and go on this wonderful cruise and be able to attend all of the events that takes place on this cruise, including the bachelorette party. That's one of my favorite parts in the book is the bachelorette party and the reveal that happens there.
Okay, and you just led me to my next question. I was going to say, without giving too much away, what is your most favorite part, or what you're most excited for us to read? There's a lot of things in there.
It is the surprise for Al.
Okay.
The surprise for Al. I really, because I think people are going to be happy to see Al have something that he really desired to have happen in his life. So I think that's one part that's going to be happy. I'm going to be happy for readers to see what actually happens at the bachelorette party for Sasha. I just think that was a touching moment. Anyone who read Luke's story would understand why that moment was a touching moment for me. But the best part is what they come up with to do with Stephanie.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that stay right there because you'll get me going. But that in itself is one reason, a huge reason to read this book. If you listen, everything else in there is good. The whole entire book is good. But for those of us that's waiting in the balance to find out what happens to Stephanie, you're gonna really want to read this book.
You're gonna want to know, because Stephanie does get a lesson.
Oh, Jesus, does she?
She gets a lesson.
Let's move past that one because I don't want to be slipping my tongue.
She gets a lesson. Let's put it that way. She gets a lesson.
Yes. So, okay, Iris, if you I don't know, how would I say this? Okay, so you told me what your favorite part, or what the favorite part you want the readers to read.
Right.
That you're most excited for that. But writing this book, what was it like for you?
You know what? Writing this book for me was a breeze. And that's because it was really just a continuation of the story that I had just finished. So it was just a continuation. I had to bring all the hardest part was remembering all of the characters that had been connected with the Lassiters. That was the hardest part because that was almost everybody in every series. So it was one of those things where God, did I leave anybody out? did I get everybody? Did I make sure that everybody was taken care of? Everybody was mentioned.
Mhm. And I think you did a great job with that because that's a huge ship. And you
Yes,
had a lot of
there was
people.
a lot of people on that ship, and they had to ship to themselves.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
could act out. That's the only reason they was able to act out like they were able to act out.
And boy, do they act out.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? I would like to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Okay, if I may,
Okay.
I would like to know if you can read one of your favorite parts in the book.
Really? You gonna
Without
do
giving,
that to me without warning?
yeah,
Really? I don't believe she did it without warning. Are
just
you
a little
serious?
taste. Just a little taste. We want to see where your head is at.
Oh my gosh. First I
Just
gotta
be
pull
patient
it
with her,
up.
give her a moment because I really did not. I'm really putting her on the
She
spot.
did. She just threw that out there at me like that. Y'all see how that happens now? I gotta pull up the darn book and everything. And Midnight just threw me to the wolves like that. I didn't even have the book up.
I want to see if one of her favorite parts is one of my favorite parts.
Oh Lord. Well, you could have warned, you could have given me a warning so I could at least have the book
I could
ready
have, but where's the
and have
fun
a
in
part,
that?
but you didn't. So okay, I might like you, but you're gonna hear about this one. Okay, here's an international affair. And let me go to one of my favorite parts. Okay. Okay, you gotta keep talking to the people while I'm
Okay.
looking now.
Listen, I'm so excited because I want to see what her favorite part is. But listen, guys, this book is, we just had the cover reveal. This is an extension of Luke's book, the book of Luke, Earthquake. And you guys know that when this book ended, we were not ready to let it go. So we are blessed to have Iris write an extension with this. And for all of you guys who want to know what happens to Sasha, with Stephanie and everything, you must tune in for this one. When I tell you, you don't want to miss this particular episode, you don't want to miss it.
Oh, one of my favorite parts. Oh my gosh. Okay.
And here, and the
Oh, and
book
it has
is
to be clean. It has to be clean because we don't want to get put in Facebook jail.
oh yes,
So
yes,
we
please
want to
don't
be
do that.
clean. Okay, okay. Let me see.
And the book is available for pre-order now. So you can go out and let me, oh, thank you, Sharita. Sharita put the link out there. So guys, grab the link. It's available for pre-order right now. So you might as well just go ahead and just hit the button so it'll be ready for you whenever it is, when it drops.
Okay, I tell you what, I'm not going to keep strolling through the book to find my favorite part on it, but I'm going to read you this little piece right here to let you know something that's going to be taking place on this particular
All right, we'll take whatever you got.
Okay, so I just want to give you a little bit of backdrop before I read this. And Midnight, oh girl, I was going to send you something for being so nice and interviewing me, but you're not getting it now. I ain't gonna even tell you what it was. Anyway.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll redeem myself. Listen, I'll redeem myself somewhere.
You will. Okay. So one of the things that takes place in this story is that Luke starts a new career. And he has his, I'm going to say interview for it. So I'm going to read a piece from there just to let you know a little bit of what's going to be taking place in this particular story. He pulled into the circular driveway of a castle-like home located in the neighborhood on the north side of Richmond, Virginia. There was no sign indicating it was anything more than a residential home. The address on the house and his sister standing near the driveway entrance was the only indication that he was in the right place. You have a silly grin on your face again, Fire, his baby sister said as she approached his vehicle. Luke laughed. No sillier than the one you wear these days. He stepped out of his SUV and looked around. This is a hell of a place you have here. a perfect deception to the world, Fire stated as she walked towards him under the covered side entrance. It's the location is the reason we need your skill set. At first glance, Luke estimated the building had at least 4 levels, maybe more. Only 3 levels were visible to the naked eye. However, Luke noticed the markings at the base of the house and knew a basement was there. Whew. He looked around at the antique trimmings around the fireplace and the back staircase when they entered the home. Wait until you see the front entrance with the stained glass windows. It reminded me of the one you have in your house in Arlington, she said as she guided him into the parlor type room. However, before you can see the rest of the house, you have to be confirmed as a member of the administration.
See, this is why you gotta stay reading these books because of these crumbs, and she's leading you somewhere.
Crumbs. They are crumbs.
You're leading you somewhere.
They are crumbs.
Very good one, and a very good part of that. And I'm sorry I put you on the spot, but
Yes,
I'm loving that. I'm loving that, guys. There's so much in this book.
Yes,
that it's enough for everybody. I don't care what you like, what you dislike. It's something for everybody in this book. I'm telling you, it is the one to get. This is going to be the book. This is going to be the May pick for the book bar right here. This one right here. This is the May pick. And plus we get to travel. So get your passports ready.
Get your passports ready because you're gonna need them. Oh, and Luke paid for the whole thing for everyone. So you don't even have to come out your pocket.
Yeah, unfortunately, Luke is paying a whole lot, and it ain't just cash.
It's not just cash.
He's paying a whole lot. So I hope this.
You know who I think paid the most in this is Peace. Peace from. Oh my gosh! I know, right?
Iris, you're gonna have to do something nice for Peace.
For Peace.
You're gonna have to do something nice for me.
Yeah.
I cannot believe he got caught up like that.
And he can't believe it either.
Oh my God. But the visual on that, and we're gonna stay away from, but the visual on that one is funny as all get out.
Yes.
So Iris, tell us a little bit about when can we expect this book? Sharita has already put the links in there. When is this book dropping? Yes. What do the people need to do to get ready for it?
Okay. Now that's a good one, because if you have not read several of the other books, you may not want to start with the wedding books. Okay. So to get ready for this particular one, you may want to go and read the book of Matthew, because this is really where it starts, the book of Matthew, and then go read A Piece of Her Heart, because this is where you learn about Sasha. And then you need to go read Jade, because that's when all of the events really start coming together and you know what the big problem is for the Lassiter family. And then you have to read the book of Luke. And in the book of Luke, you are going to figure out everything just comes together in the book of Luke. But I'm going to add one more in there that you should go ahead and read so that you would be ready for the wedding books. You need to read Fire, I'm Just Saying, as well, because all of those couples, the couples from each one of those books that I just mentioned to you, all of those couples, including Monique and Grayson, is a part of this wedding series, and they are all in this book. So to prepare yourself, like really prepare yourself and be ready for this wedding that is going to be taking place, you should read all of those. You don't have to, but you would want to, because that's going to make the experience more rewarding once you read An International Affair.
Okay, and when do we expect this book? When is it dropping?
International Affair is dropping on May 26th. So you are literally 1 month away.
Yes, actually.
If you're following me on my newsletters, the newsletter went out to remind you guys it's 1 month away. Go ahead and get your pre-order out there. You're going to be surprised because I put a little something at the end. other book for you. So that you can say, oh, look what Iris gave us. So you can go and get that too. So it comes out May 26th. It is 1 month away. You can get it everywhere. It is on my website. First and foremost, is on my website. It is on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Google Play, Apple, Kobo. Wherever you get your books, you will be able to get An International Affair.
And is it available for pre-order on all of those sites?
It is already out on all of those sites. You can go out there and you can pre-order them and pre-order it, and you can, I would say, go out there. If you haven't gotten the Book of Luke, get the Book of Luke, because you can get a little sneak peek into International Affair at the end of Luke 2.
Yeah. And if I can just go back to when I asked you the question about preparation, I'm just going to add one more thing in there. And Iris, feel free to show that cover so they'll know what that is. Hold that cover up so they
Luke
can
or
see.
International
Luke,
Affair?
and then we're going to go to the
Oh,
international.
this is the hardback of Luke. Can you guys see? I hope you guys can see that. Okay, this is the hardback of Luke. Okay, so if you have not read Luke, you really may want to read Luke, and then you can go and you can grab your copy of An International Affair. Wait a minute, let me make sure you can. There you go. It looks better there, so you're not seeing the lights.
And I just have a really quick question before I give them my other portion of what they need to do to get prepared. That stone in there.
Yes, ma'am. It ain't no joke, is it?
Yeah. So what is that? Is that significant to anything?
That's the diamond. That's that rock that he put on Sapphire's finger. Now remember, not Sapphire, Sasha's finger. Remember, Sasha and Luke comes from two different lifestyles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, two different lifestyles. And this ring is actually talked about in the story, because it's like you put a $2.5 million ring on the sister's hand who has never even seen $2,500.
She was working for the government. That's why.
She was working for the government. Exactly. But here's the other part to that too. And what Luke says he put that ring on her finger so she knows she is secure. She is secure for life. If anything happens to her, she is still secure because she has that ring on her finger. You know, and people don't think about that, because to him, that was an investment. That was an investment, and it's an investment into her and their love. That's what that is.
Yeah, again, so much in this book. But anyway,
really
if I just
really
may be able to add one more thing for you guys in preparation. So let me just take you a little bit out of the Gems and Gems series and take you over to the aftermath, because because only for one thing, I want you guys to grab your aftermath journals, because you can fill in some blanks in this story in that journal. So you see how she did that? Like I said,
yes.
She always, all roads leads to Iris Bolling book.
You know what? It's like it's a world. It's a world, and just like real life, you have different people that live in different aspects of your life. And that's how I write my books. My books are, I'm waiting for the day that some of my characters from the Heart series and from One Spark of Magic and from the Brooks Family Values have to go to the Dunning's Bank.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all a part. It's all a part of life. The Midnight was telling you about the journal, and this is the Nate Raines journal that she was referring to. And I don't know, I'm trying to have it up so you can, the light doesn't affect it too much, but it looks like it does a little bit.
Yeah, there's a part in that book where you can fill in some blanks.
You can fill in blanks. And you know, when you're doing a story, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm doing a story, sometimes I want to write down some notes about what's happening with these characters so that I can remember from the next time. And that's what this does. This gives you the opportunity to go in and write down notes about different characters who are in the books. So that's the Nate Raines journal that we have for you. But we also, don't forget, we have the Luke journal as well. And the Luke journal, I thought I had one on my desk. I don't, but the Luke journal has a little nugget in there for you too. The Luke journal actually has the family tree inside of the Luke journal as well. So I tried to give my readers something to help them. Oh, thank you. It is so good to have somebody here to help you out when you're doing stuff like this. They just hand you stuff, you know, I love it. This is Luke's journal. And in Luke's journal, you actually also have, can you guys see that? Let me hold it straight. There it is, there it is. You see it? It has the family tree in there. There you go. Where you could go in there and it tells you all of the different books that are in the series, all of the gems and gents and all the Lassiter family. That's what's in there. So you have that as well. And then of course you have your pages where you can go in and you can write all of your notes that you want to put in there about the gems and gents series. So, you know, we try to give a little something extra to my readers because you guys are so good to me and I appreciate you so much. So anything that I can do to help you keep the families connected, I'll do it.
Yeah. And I just want to say to the readers, I know you guys have a lot of questions, but this was done a little bit different than what we normally do. We gave you the spoiler room and we've done a number of chats with Iris about this, but this one was a little bit different. So if I'm not answering your questions, you know, if we're not answering your questions like right away, it's just that I wanted to kind of bring this particular cover reveal. I want Iris to share with us. I wanted to find out what we were expecting. I wanted her to tell us, you know, all she could, at least all she could tell us about the series.
Giving it away.
Right, without giving anything away. Right. So again, this was really about the international affair. It is, she says, it's coming May 26th, 1 month from today. Mm-hmm. And it is available for pre-order now. So go out and get those copies. And then at some point, maybe not with this one, because I think we got something else coming after this, right? So we'll get 2 things in and then we'll come back and talk to her about it. But this is not the last you have heard about it. And then this way you can have an active role in talking to them. Again, I just wanted to come on real quick and just kind of say, hey, what's up? You know, Luke is on, and now you got you got this cover here. Like, hey, what's going on here?
Listen, what's up? But you know, take this time, and go get a copy of Luke. If you don't already have it, some of you probably already have it. But if you don't, go get a copy of Luke, and read that story, and then go right into the wedding of Luke and Sasha. That would be a beautiful, beautiful combination of the 2.
Right. So Iris, I'm thinking enough of your time, but I want to give you an opportunity to say any last words to the readers, anything you want them to know, where can they find you, where can they go buy the book and all of that stuff.
Thank you, Midnight. Well, you guys, you know, you can always go to my website, which is going to be, we're doing some little tweaks to it. So that's going to be fun. But you can go to my website, which is irisbolling.com. You can also find me on Goodreads. You can find me on BookBud. Did I say it right, Midnight?
They know, BookBubs.
BookBubs. You can find me.
Try not to highlight your bloopers.
You can find me. No, listen, every time I say that one, Midnight always give me one of these looks like, you'll get it right one day. You're right. You can follow me. Please follow me on TikTok. That's a new thing for me, but I'm having fun with it. I'm trying to teach Midnight, get her out there too. So you can follow me on TikTok at iBolling01. You can follow me on Instagram as Iris_Bolling. You can find me on Facebook as me, Iris Bolling. But I also have a Facebook group called Iris Bolling Book Palace, the Palace. So you can also go out there and try to follow me out there. Where else am I? I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter as Author Iris Bolling. So you can find me on Twitter as well. But go out there and check me out on Book Bubs.
And Iris, one other thing, do you have the book listed on Goodreads yet?
Yes.
Is it listed on BookBubs?
Yes. So anyone who did advanced copies, they were able to get advanced copies, and you do have some out there. Go ahead out there and leave a review, and it is on Goodreads already, so you can do that. You can go out there and leave a review for it and let people know what they can anticipate when it comes to an international affair. It was good to write romance, just straight romance. I didn't kill anybody, no suspense, or well, I'm always having a little bit of something out there.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an Iris Bolling book if you didn't.
If you didn't, there's gonna be a little bit of something out there, so you can get that.
And also too, when you go out to those sites like BookBubs, and I know for sure Goodreads, go out there and check it off as an anticipated read, or a wish list or whatever. So just to that will spark some interest in other readers who go out to those sites. So yeah, so go out there and on Goodreads, make it as one that you want to read, and on BookBubs, I think it's the wish list.
It's a wish list
that you can go out there.
And can I say one more thing, Midnight?
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow you.
No, we're not gonna do that. But before you put me off, there's one more thing that I want to say. I really want to thank my readers. I had a group of readers that went out about a week ago, and they started doing these photographs of them with one of my books, and they had a hashtag going around, Rolling with Bolling. That was the coolest
thing. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for that. Every time I saw one, I tried to grab it and make sure I loved it, but that was the coolest thing. Thank you guys so much for doing that. That was just wonderful. So that's it. I'm done now.
No. And I just wanted to let you guys know, so for the international affair, the book bar, I have to take this off so you can see.
Oh, we got a wine?
Absolutely. It's a little celebratory thing.
Okay.
Let me just say here. Okay. So for the international affair, I am rocking Bachanur. It is a rose, a sparkling rose Moscato. Now, Bachanur is one of my favorite Moscatos. Of course, you guys know Moscatos is a little bit sweet, but this one is sparkling and it is a little bit sweet. So it is my celebratory wine for the international affair.
Right.
However, if you so choose, you could go way stronger than this. Just saying. So,
and I would suggest in certain parts of this book, you may want to go get something a little bit stronger for certain parts of this book.
Yes, I will agree. But keeping in the festivities of a wedding, I went with a little bit of sparkling, just in there. But like I said, once you start getting into it, like maybe about halfway through, you might be putting this bottle away and be going to get something else.
Yeah, and keep watching social media, because you are going to be getting an invitation to the book party release of An International Affair. Just want to put that out there, drop a little nugget here and there.
I know, we love those. Well, again, Iris, thank you so much for taking the time out. We know we keep grabbing you out of that writing cave, and we don't mean to, but we just want to say, hey, what's up? Tell us more. We need more. So well, again,
thank you for your support. I love you guys, and I can't wait until May 26th for the release of An International Affair. So until then, for everybody who joined us, bye y'all.
See you later. Have a good one.
Bye.